No, 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 no! Son of a bitch! Yes, that's right. I crashed it again. And it was so stupid. But I'm going to get to that in just a second. First things first. Let's talk about the announcement coming from DJI in just a few days. Now, there's a lot of speculation out there. A lot of people are saying it's going to be the Mavic Air. Some people are saying it's going to be the Mavic Pro 2. But either way, it's going to be a super cool version of the Mavic. I think the consensus is that. But I kind of have an idea. What if they actually release both of them? What if we get to see the Mavic Air and the Mavic Pro 2 coming on the same announcement? That would be super cool, but it would also be very stressful because I wouldn't know which one to get, and I can't afford to get two of them right now. But I guess it's a good problem to have. But that's my prediction. You heard it here first. If I'm right, I'm going to look like a hero. If I'm wrong, oh well. But I was thinking the other day, what if DJI is just kind of messing with us and they come out on January 23rd and they say, you know, DJI has decided that we're going to expand our vision and we're going to get into the automated robotic vacuum market, introducing the DJI Phantom Clean. Wouldn't that be just so disappointing? We'd be about as disappointed as the New Orleans Saints fans were last weekend.
No!
Nope, here we go. Come on, baby. Go! Go, 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 go! Step on! Step on, Diggs! Step on, Diggs! Step on, Diggs! Step on, Diggs! Oh my God! Can you tell we're Vikings fans? Anyway, welcome to another Quick Tips episode for your Mavic Pro. Now, if you don't know what my Quick Tips episodes are, basically what I try to do in these videos is present 2 or 3 or maybe 4 things related to the Mavic Pro, but I try to do it in a quick and concise manner. I try to give you something of value, and some of them are simple tips and some of them are eye-opening tips, but either way, I try to bring something that's going to make your flying your Mavic Pro a little more enjoyable. Today I have 3 tips for you guys. The first one is a cold weather tip. I know I do a lot of those, but I do live in North Dakota where it's cold pretty much 6 months out of the year. My second tip today is going to be related to the altitude setting for return to home. And then my third tip today, and probably the most important one, is related to what I call the golden rule of flying. So my first tip today, like I said, is another cold weather tip. Now, I've done a few videos on flying your Mavic Pro in extremely cold temperatures and how the cold affects your Mavic and how it affects your battery life. But one thing that always comes up is a lot of people still have issues with their mobile device battery draining when they're flying in cold weather. And I actually found this little tip that works quite well, and it's inexpensive. All you have to do is go to your local department store or your sporting goods store in your town and get yourself some of these toe warmers. You know, they're just like the hand warmers that you get for your mittens and your gloves, but they're for your toes. And what's different about them is they actually have an adhesive on the back of them. So all you have to do is open up the package, peel off the backing, and stick it to the back of your mobile device, and your battery drain issues are solved. I've tried this a couple times and it actually works quite well. Your battery still drains faster than it would in the house or in warm temperatures, but it doesn't drain as fast if you have one of these on there. So give it a try. I think it'll work for you guys too. My second tip for today is related to the altitude setting for return to home. Now, this seems simple, but I do get a lot of questions on it, and so I wanted to test it out just to be sure. But the question that I get is, when you're flying your Mavic Pro and you have your return to home set at a certain height, but your Mavic Pro is flying above that setting, when you hit the return to home, or if the failsafe kicks in, will your Mavic Pro descend to that setting, or will it stay above and fly home? And so I wanted to check it out. So I flew over by this crane next to my home, and I set my return to home altitude at 30 meters, which is actually lower than the height of this crane. And then I raised my Mavic Pro up and I hit the return to home button. And of course the Mavic Pro did not descend down to 30 meters. It actually stayed where it was and began the return to home process. And so if you're concerned about your Mavic Pro descending down into some obstacles or some trees or something like that, don't worry about it. As long as you are flying above your obstacles, you'll be okay. It's not going to descend to your setting. Now, what I try to do if I'm flying in a new environment that I'm not familiar with what's around, I always try to find the highest object and set my return to home setting above that, just to be safe. My third tip for today, you guys, and probably, like I said, the most important one, is what I like to call the golden rule of flying. Now, about a year ago, I was flying my Mavic Pro, and I think it was like the third time that I had flown it, and I actually crashed it. You guys can watch that video. I'm going to put it right up here. Go ahead and click on that and watch it if you want to see exactly what happened. But there was a number of factors related to why I crashed my Mavic Pro that day. But the number one factor is what I call the golden rule. The other day I crashed my Mavic Pro again, and it was for the same reason. Now, what is the golden rule, you ask? Well, I'm going to let you guys watch this, and then I'm going to talk about it. Now, before you watch this, let me tell you that I expect just about every one of you, as you watch it, will say out loud to yourself, "What a dumb." So just know that I am aware that you are aware that I was a dumb. So let me explain what happened here. The other day I was filming my video for the E58. I wanted to get some aerial footage of me flying that little Eachine E58. And so what I did is I put my Mavic Pro up in my front yard and I set it to point of interest. I made myself the point of interest, and I set the radius and the height, and then I engaged point of interest, and I watched the Mavic Pro circle around me about 3 or 4 times. I wanted to make sure that everything was okay, to make sure that I had it high enough and far enough away from any of the trees in my front yard, and it looked like it was going to be okay. And so what I did is I set the controller down. I walked about 10 feet away, I put down the controller, and then I picked up the controller for the E58 and flew it around and got some footage of myself flying the E58. And then for some reason, the Mavic Pro decided that it wanted to descend just a couple of feet from where I had set it, and it hit the tree. As you can see, there was a great moment of panic for me. Now, thankfully, my Mavic Pro is okay. All it did was damage all of the props, but everything works just fine. You know, I flew it around a little bit afterwards, and it seems to be functioning okay. So I got pretty lucky there. It could have been much worse. But the golden rule of flying, you guys, never ever set down your controller. You know, I know drones are smart these days. They have all kinds of automated features and obstacle avoidance and all that, but nothing is a substitute for human control. You know, a year ago when I crashed it the first time, like I said, there's a few reasons that it crashed, but the number one reason is I didn't have that controller in my hand. I set it on the table and I was showing off, being cocky to my family and showing them, hey, look what this drone can do. It does everything all by itself. And the fact is, if I would have had that controller in my hand back then, as well as the other day, I would not have crashed my Mavic Pro because I could have raised the altitude and prevented it from crashing. Now, you seasoned pilots who are watching this, I certainly expect you guys to give it to me in the comments, and I deserve it, I admit it. But for those of you who are new pilots and you're just learning how to fly your Mavic Pro or any other drone for that matter, the golden rule, you guys, don't ever set down that controller. And if you have to set it down for some reason, make sure you give it to someone else so they can control it just in case there's some type of emergency. And not only is it for the safety of your drone, but also for the safety of those around you. So I hope you guys learn a lesson from me. If you're just learning how to fly, don't ever set that controller down, no matter how confident you are in its automated ability. Now, as for why my Mavic Pro descended while it was doing the point of interest, I actually don't know why. So if any of you happen to know that, please let me know down in the comments. It's never done that before, and it only went down about 2 feet, and so I really don't know why it happened. And so I've reached out to DJI, but I haven't heard back from them. So that's my quick tips video for today, you guys. Hopefully I gave you guys something of value. If I did, please click on that thumbs up button, that like button. That really helps out this channel a lot. If you guys have any comments or questions about anything at all, go ahead and put those in the comments down below and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. Finally, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you're just checking out this video and seeing my channel for the first time, please click on that subscribe button and join us. I want to thank you guys sincerely for watching, and as always, fly safe and fly smart.